World records this year. World records, Olympic golds. That's what we're going for.
If there's a theory about throwing, it probably involves me, and it probably involves me beating people. That's my theory. Beat them. You know, if there's any theory out there that's worthwhile, that's it.
I just want to be remembered. You have to show up every single major championship and do something incredible every single time.
Turn them inhibitors off. Uninhibited. No, I think it's actually the phenomenon going on in the shot put in the U.S. right now. I think it has to do with a nature nurture thing, because like when I was throwing, I mean, yeah, the guys were all good, but they were sporadic good, meaning they didn't throw good all the time. Like Godina would throw, and none of them were throwing really far. Like they would throw like 21 meters a lot and shit like that. But like now, we throw good. There's 4 of us that throw far all year round, you know?
Right now, I think a lot of people think that 23 meters is still way out there, even if they don't necessarily think of it that way. Psychologically, somewhere in their subconscious, something's saying, you know, it's limiting us. It's limiting us. No, we can't throw 23 meters. You can't throw 23 meters. But I think as we get a number of people up in the 22 meter range, it's going to happen, because it's just the next logical progression. And rather than worrying about the record, we're going to be worrying about the competition and trying to throw farther and farther and farther. It's going to drive us to throw farther. And I think that's when the record's going to go down. I think it'll go down in the next couple of years.
It's so hard to get to the point where you get to compete with them in our country. We're so worried about each other that by the time you get over there, it's like, who are you going to compete with? Because all we look at is we got to make this team, and to worry about Rutger Smith, that's just going to cause problems. Because I got to worry about 6 other guys that are trying to keep me out of those 3 spots. So it's a tough road in the shot put world in America. There's no room to be thinking about other countries until you've made that team.
Throwing well in the U.S. and then throwing well in Europe are 2 different things. I think people fail to realize that. You become a true master of your technique if you can do it in the U.S. and also throw really, really well in Europe. Because that's where you win your major championships. You don't win championships in the U.S., you win them in Europe.
we've created an artificially inflated environment. And I say artificially, I don't mean artificially, you know. I'm talking more along the lines of people in our country. When this shot put revolution first started, there was a massive appreciation for what we were doing. I mean, we have become one of the centerpiece events. It's the 100, the shot, and the mile. Those are their centerpiece events now. And at this point, I think that we've gotten so good at what we do that an appreciation for what we do has been lost.
I threw my whole freshman year, and the best person I saw was Jamie Byer, who was in college still. He threw 62 feet. Then I went to the Olympic trials and saw all these guys, and to me it was like they were mythical, you know what I mean? Where now, you know, we throw so much, and these guys get to compete against us so many more times, that now they believe that they can, you know, they see us, they see that we're made of, you know, we put our shoes on the same way, you know, one at a time and shit like that. So I think that illusion, you know, that mental barrier gets dissolved a little bit by by having so many good guys in the U.S., you know?
Adam Nelson, 32 years old, 6 feet tall, 260 pounds, with a personal best of 73 feet 10 1/4 inches. Originally from Atlanta, Georgia, he now trains in Charlottesville, Virginia. He is a 2-time Olympic silver medalist, as well as a gold medalist at the World Championships. And as it happens, we have caught him on a very important day of his training regimen.
First day of throwing for the Olympic year. I guess it's still not the Olympic year, but it's the first day of throwing for training for Beijing. I think it's a great day. Damn right, it's a great day.
I come from a family of jocks. My sister went on to play soccer at Dartmouth. I have an older brother, Grant, who was quite a good high school athlete as well. He was an amazing football player and ended up playing rugby in college at the University of Colorado. I started throwing when I was in 8th grade. I guess to make a long story short, people always ask me how I got involved in throwing, and basically I got cut from the baseball team. I played football in 8th grade and then went through wrestling. I got cut from the basketball team, so I started wrestling and tried out for baseball, got cut there, and went into track. So that's when I started throwing. So it's been a while, but I always thought I'd be a professional football player. I really did. And sometime, my freshman or sophomore year in college, I just decided that football wasn't going to be, it wasn't where my heart was anymore. And I was really enjoying track and field at the time. My throws coach was a guy named Carl Wallen, and Carl had more of an impact on me and what I would do for the next, what I've been doing since college than anybody else. He believed in me, and he said to me, he said, Adam, I really hope that you will consider doing this for just another 2 years. I graduated in '97. See what you can do, see what's going on, see if you're close to international level by the time the 2000 Olympics come on. And he kept telling me this, kept believing in me, even when I doubted myself. And
for a first day, this is awesome. got one goal, 2 goals this year. I want to set the world record. I want to win the Olympic gold. I'm not sure which one is easier. Caroline, what's today?
Today's a great day to throw far! But we won't disclose how far.
That's right.
What impresses me the most is how intense he gets and how focused he is. His ability to go from class to practice to lifting and just kind of change gears like that is impressive. I think it's what every elite athlete has, is that ability to compartmentalize their life and get, just focus on that sector and that 16-pound ball. So that's what impresses me. Meant for him as an athlete, I guess his mentality physically is, I think, where he's most unique in that his explosiveness combined with flexibility, I think, is unique even amongst the the U.S. throwers or the top 10 shot putters in the world. I think that combination that he has is, I think, unmatched with other throwers. Other throwers have other qualities, I think, but that explosiveness and flexibility is his best asset. And it's really unique and it's really impressive. I mean, when he first started training here, I was like he would throw and I'd be like, I don't know what to say. I mean, it was like, I can't believe I'm standing here 3 feet away from this guy who's, you see him throw on TV and you see him even in meets live, but to see him just out there every day in practice doing the same things is remarkable.
This was for Hoffa and Cantwell.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Double. Bet they can't do this drill like this.
From time to time, Adam also works with Brian Vickers, a senior in college and the current Division II collegiate record holder in the shot put.
I've just noticed, if you're not doing it here.
Working with Adam, that's an eye-opening experience. Just a little bad habit, if you change that to correct it, can add 3, 4, 5 feet on your throw, and then the next problem, So it's just to me, it's really eye-opening, and this experience, that treasure forever. I'll never lose it.
Adam is also a student at the university where he trains, studying to get his MBA. The alumni magazine at his college chose to do a piece on him.
Take a deep breath.
That's it for today. Oh, it's always a pleasure. It hurts. I feel slow. But actually, this is one of my better first days in a long time. So I think I'm in better shape in October than I have been ever. Normally I take off 2 or 3 months after a season's over. This year I didn't take that much time off. I only took really 2 weeks. But that was because my training last year was so interrupted. And I felt pretty undertrained by the end of the season. So today was actually really good. I didn't hurt myself, which is a big victory the first day when you're getting older, and felt pretty good. The basics felt pretty good. The fulls are they got a ways to go, but once I start doing more mobility work in my training, that should come back pretty quickly. So yeah, there'll be a big difference between now and even the end of this week, so it's good.
I guess it's not really a hobby, but I also happen to be blessed in that I do what I love to do. So a lot of people have these hobbies because they don't really enjoy what they do on a daily basis. I get to work out. I go to school, so stimulate my body, stimulate my mind.
I don't need something else to really live for or improve upon. I really enjoy my life right now.
Reese Hoffa, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 315 pounds. Personal best of 73 feet 7 1/4 inches. He has 2 world championship titles and currently trains in Athens, Georgia.
I always saw myself doing some kind of professional sport. Obviously, I thought it would be more football. Ever since I was 4 or 5 years old, that's just what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a football player and would go forth to try and do that. I think you see it on the Olympics, and you say, "Oh, that looks really cool," and maybe I could give that a try. And you look for different events that maybe best suit your talents. For me, I'm always been a person to throw things, and I thought maybe the shot put would be fun. But when I started, I wasn't really that good. I think I was a better baseball player than a track and field athlete. And then, obviously, when I got coaching, I got better and better.
I think it was his junior year, the summer of his going into his senior year. That's when this guy from California calls me. He goes, "Hello, my name's Don Babbitt. I just got the head throws coach job at the University of Georgia, and I hear you got this guy named Reese Hoffa." I go, "Yes, sir." And he goes, listen. Didn't say it outright, but it was like basically, "Don't let him sign with anybody. I want to see it. Let me have a shot at him. Let me recruit him."
It's I'd say one thing with Reese, he's a rotational shot putter, and I think he's got a few gifts that are very specific to the rotational shot put, and that are very special. And when you look at his physical appearance and size, he's a big guy. But if you look at a lineup at the World Championships, there's a lot of other people that are a lot taller than him and seem more imposing. He has a knack for figuring out how to accelerate things and move very quickly in a rotational plane, a rotational way. And that's very specific to the rotational shot put. Those aren't gifts that'll jump out at you just watching somebody walk down the street. So it's not something you'll see in physical appearance. And when you see him run, he's got very quick turnover and he's very fast. But when you see him move and rotate, he moves as well or better than anybody.
You must be somebody that's fun. I think so.
Reese Hoffa is really famous in Japan. Everyone knows him.
Reese is well known and well liked in Japan, and after having won his most recent championship there, a Japanese magazine sent a reporter to Athens to do a piece on him for one of their sports magazines.
So how you feel to be champion, to get the finally gold?
How does it feel? It feels pretty awesome.
He also has a few hidden talents that he agreed to share with us.
Yeah, baby.
Do you think you could do this faster than he does?
Why can't blondes make ice cubes? Because they always forget the recipe.
A pharmaceutical company is also doing a piece on Reese as part of a series with athletes. Reese was separated from his birth mother at a young age and then adopted. In his adult life, he was reunited with his birth mother. And for the photo shoot today, both of his moms are in attendance.
Yeah, she ain't gonna do that. Huh?
Where he is, he's still very much Reese. He's not got the big head. He's not obnoxious, not show-offy. He's a genuine person. And I think of everything, that's my proudest thing is Reese is who he is, and he's not a show-off. I'm very proud of him. He's the man. He's my hero.
I really believe that Reese, even though I only knew him for 4 years, that he would be the best at whatever he did, because he just had such drive. And so it doesn't surprise me that he's a world-class athlete at all, because I always expected that he would be. I never expected anything different, really.
Great shot putters are just remembered for what they've done in their career. And I mean, Adam Nelson will always be remembered for his consistency over the years. And for me, it's very difficult to be very good, especially in this era, because the shot putters, especially in the U.S. and in the world, they don't allow for there to be just a one dominant athlete. You have to show up every single major championship and do something incredible every single time. So for me, I know that if I want to be remembered as one of the greats, I may never be the greatest ever, but as one of the greats, I have to be exceptional myself. I don't think there's a lot of 5'11" rotational shot putters that could, stand on top of the world as one of the greatest, and that's what drives me. In some ways, I want to prove to everyone that you don't have to be this 6'5", 6'4" behemoth type of athlete in order to make it in this sport. That you can be 5'11", and if I am 300 plus pounds, that I don't have to be pigeonholed, that I have to be smaller like Adam at 265 pounds. I could be 300 and still be great, and hopefully that'll put a mark on the sport that, yeah, this guy's pretty special, and maybe should be pretty good, and that's what drives me.
Three, 2, 1, drive off.
John Godina, 35 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 285 pounds, with a personal best of 72 feet 10 inches. The Division I collegiate record holder in the shot put, he now trains in the Phoenix area of Arizona. He is a 4-time world champion, and he has 2 Olympic medals.
We were watching the World Championships, and I said, I used to throw the discus because we were watching the discus on television. And he said, well, can we get one of those and go do it? And I said, well, yeah, I guess.
And I know now that he was trying to trick me into liking it, and it worked. This was something different that appealed to me because it was all on me. It was get it right and you'll be rewarded. Get it wrong and nobody will give you any credit whatsoever. So it's a very independent mindset, which is kind of the way I prefer it. I prefer to take the credit, and I prefer to take the blame as opposed to sharing it either way.
John and I have known each other for 12 years, about 6 years as teammates, and then 3 years as coach athlete. John is a very, very talented individual, and when I started working with him, I understood why he became so good, why he's such a champion, world champion, and an Olympic medalist. He is very gifted, he's very coordinated, he can move his body the way he wants to. Very explosive, big guy. I think another one of the best assets he has is he knows how to compete. He's got a great mindset for it, and I think he loves the pressure. He loves the excitement of going out there and competing against the world's best. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's known as one of the best shot putters in the world, is that he's been able to win so many titles and play so well at the big meets, not just have a big PR, but to do it when it counts.
Everything is in line and ready to go. And I haven't had that in a while, which is good. Anybody that thinks revolutionary changes occur year to year or decade to decade in some people's careers, they're full of crap. I mean, it's the same thing. You bench, you clean, you squat, you sprint, and you throw. Nothing ground shaking is going to happen. You know, the only thing that varies year to year is your body healthy and is your brain ready. Nothing's new. I'd want for nothing except for a gold medal. Win the Olympics. That's it. I don't have any other goals.
Adrienne Blewett trains with John in Arizona. She hopes to make the top 3 in the shot put for the U.S. women's team.
Right.
I have a couple of day jobs. My main job is trying to be a professional athlete in the shot put, training for the 2008 Olympics and beyond. Let's see, the summer of 2005 at Nationals, I actually ran into John, and I was explaining to him, oh yeah, I was thinking about, coming out to Arizona. How do you like it out there? Because he had recently moved here. And he said, oh, it's awesome, the weather's great, there's so many places to train. I'm like, very cool, very cool. And I inquired about Dave Dumble. I said, do you know if he's looking for any more athletes to train? That was really the first time I actually sat down and spoke with John. He drove me to the track a couple times. He was very open to the idea of having another athlete come out to Arizona. And he's very cool to talk to, and I learned about John. I mean, he was one of my idols, going through college and high school.
In addition to the shot put, John is also training for a comeback in the discus throw, which he had to take a break from due to a shoulder injury.
I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to throw it far, It's just a matter of how much at this age the body can take. I think it'll be, I think this year it could be good. We'll see. But if not this year, then next year for sure. Just depends on how the body holds up to all the medical procedures this season. But eventually I have to get a medal in the discus too, just because that's kind of what I started out trying to do, so I need to do that.
Today is the first day in 3 years that John has practiced the discus.
Too much shot putting. Not enough discus. Only 6 throws. I'm already feeling it in my arm. Just my hands filling up with blood, So the trick is, you did it once, now can you do it 2 more times and then quit? At this point in time, it's just kind of uncertainty of injuries. Takes some feeling out to make sure everything's all right before you really start hitting it, And it's such a habit of mine through my whole career is just, let's grab it and, let's go and let's throw. But that's tough when you got to hold yourself back for the first period of time until everything settles in, But it's a trade-off though, because once everything does settle in physically. You know, after this many years, I feel so much further ahead of schedule, so much faster. Just kind of, it's two kinds of unfair. It's kind of unfair to me to know how to throw so well at this point, and the body won't cooperate. But then again, it almost seems like if everything was healthy, it'd be kind of unfair to everybody I throw against, you know, just because it'd be too easy. So, a little yin and yang in the universe, right? Just get my form perfect, and everything's going good, and get me throwing like 70 whatever, 5, early. Then we cryogenically freeze me, thaw me out 2 days before for an Olympic trials. I won't even know the difference. It'll be like I never stopped.
How much does that cost? We'll look into that.
Okay.
But any time during the year when you're throwing that far, we'll be like, stop!
It's time.
I'll like freeze you in mid-practice. I'll bring your uniform to the track.
That'd be perfect. I have a very pragmatic way about things. And if you can't control it, then why worry about it? And the only thing I can control is whipping ass on people, and that was it. At the end of the year, can you look back and go, I've done everything I possibly could have done. I rested the right places, I worked the right places, and I don't think there's too many people that can look at their situation at the end of the year and really know in their heads if that's happened or not.
John being that old, his future is, or his career is coming to an end, whether it's this year or next year, or has it already ended, I don't know. John, from watching what he has been doing at practice last year, he's got a lot more in him. I can easily see him throwing over 70 feet this year, you know, which would be great Olympic year, and to be able to, you know, go to one more Olympics and get that chance to win gold, because it is definitely in his future. What he does after that, or if he can do that this year, will depend on how well his body holds up. You know, I think that, you know, obviously we've got another strong year ahead of us, and then what he wants to do after that, I think will depend a lot on this year, what he does here.
Number one thing not to do is probably doubt. You got to believe in the coach, you got to believe in your system, and you got to believe in yourself. The number one thing is doubt, because doubt makes you do stupid stuff. Doubt makes you overlift, doubt makes you overtrain, or doubt makes you undertrain because you're worried about injuries. I mean, you've really got to just have confidence in exactly what you're doing and where you're at, and who you are, and what you can do.
Nice and easy, let it run.
My goal was to always put it through the wall.
A little bit better.
So far.
Christian Cantwell, 27 years old, 6 feet 5 inches tall, 320 pounds. Personal best of 73 feet 11 and a half inches. He has one world title and has yet to make his first Olympic team.
See, I always pick this one because I can look at the most handsome guy in the world right there, see? Let's see if I can get him to move it right here. Make it bigger.
He trains in Columbia, Missouri, where he went to college, just 50 miles from his hometown of Eldon.
You're told all these things, oh, you don't need to do biceps or, you know, whatever, but in the end, I think you need to be a total package. Like, I don't think you can, to be the best, I don't think you can have any deficiencies. I mean, that's why, since this has started, I've started doing a lot of calf work. I work out from fucking toes to head. I do these bent over sled pulls because I really feel them in my toes. Like, you know, pushing with my toes, because you get an angle bent over that you can't do doing just regular weightlifting. And I feel when I first started doing those, I couldn't hardly do it because my toes couldn't take the pressure. I think you got to do that for everything. I do neck exercises. I mean, I think you need to have that strong. I mean, I think if you want to throw 80 feet, you can't have any imbalances or deficiencies. Unless you're just a freak like me and you can get there in a way, you know, you might be able to be a little bit off. Like, there's no doubt, I think I can be a little, like, you know, I've thrown You know, I fouled one at USA Championships at 22.96. You know, and that was bad technique. I mean, if my technique had been what it was on the one where I threw 21.80, it would have went 25 meters. Probably. I don't know. It might have broke my fingers, to be honest with you. I don't know, but I don't think anyone else could have done that for sure. Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe someone could have. I don't know. Nobody now for sure could. That's for sure.
He's been blessed with freakish upper body strength. Here's a guy that is 6'5", 300, 320 pounds, that is fast, explosive, kinesthetically brilliant. All those things lend itself well to be a great shot putter. People ask me what the shot put's like, and I think it's more often, for me, I describe it as what Christian does is a combination of ballet mixed with primal rage. Feel that it doesn't matter what the setting is, he just wants a competition, you know? And I think you've picked up on it in practice. One of the things that I had to really try to keep in check without stifling it was that competitive spirit in practice, because he was lining people up all the time. Hey, I'll spot you 5 feet, let's go. You know, Christian, we're not competing right now, we're trying to get better, and you know, we're doing a drill against the wall. I can hit the wall harder, you know, that sort of thing.
Fuck! It's just something inside me that's always wanted to be best, and it goes back to even when I was playing indie games. Like me and Terry getting some of the biggest fights ever, and it'd be playing stupid card games or Yahtzee or something like that. Just because I always want to win. Like, I always want to be the best. There's this innate desire for me to always win. I don't know where it came from, but I would say I'm the most competitive person that I know. And I've never met anyone that wants to win as much as I do. I mean, I get in so many fights with my friends whenever I lose. And that's the only time I ever get really irrational, is stuff like that. I mean, because I'm just so competitive at everything. I mean, you name it. If we're throwing a freaking baseball into a trash can, I'd want to kick whoever's ass I was trying to throw it in. I don't care if it's Nolan Ryan or whoever. I'd want to do it the best. And I don't know where it came from. It's just something that I was born with, something that I was instilled with young on. I think I saw that people who were good at sports when they were young, whenever I saw that they were like well respected and people liked them, and I didn't know why. I still don't know why, to be honest with you. But that was something that when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. I want people to like respect me and like me, and that was it. Like, so it was always, I got to be the best. You know, that's who gets the most love. It's the best. When I started sports, I think it was like 7th grade. You could start football. So of course I did football and loved it, and when that ended, I did basketball, and this was all in middle school. And when I got done with basketball, I thought I was done. And Coach Klein, who was also the 8th grade coach at the time in middle school, he one day he says, "Hey, Biggin, you're gonna come out and throw discus for me," is what he said. Discus for me on the track team. I said, "Sure. What is this?" He says, "Well," he come out. He was like, "I'll show you." So we go in, and the day of my first day of track practice, he comes in and he says, "Come down to my room." He puts a video in. It's an Al Order discus throwing video. I'm sure. I mean, a lot of people have seen that. And we watch it, and then we go out and we try to do that. And then the next day, he shows us a shot put video, and then we go out and try to do that. And that's basically how I started. So pretty easy beginnings.
Christian was the type of person, just knowing him, he was just a big-hearted, big boy. He really didn't want to play track, go out for track, because he just wanted to stay in the weight room, see how strong he could get. And I just kind of keep getting on to him every day, say, come on out, come on out. We finally got him out to track, and it's been quite worthwhile for him, I think. He was the type of person that didn't like to lose, and he found success in the districts and on into the quarterfinals and sectionals and stuff, and it just kind of took on to him. And then from his sophomore year, he just wanted to try to make himself better and better, and he did. He medaled in his junior year in the shot and discus. He was second in the discus, third in the shot his junior year. His senior year, he took first in the discus, and he took second in the shot. The kid from Herculaneum beat him just the last throw and got him. But you know, he was the type of person that if he set out to do something, you know, he was going to do the best he could. And he worked hard doing it. And I could see it in college where he kept working and working. And at MU, they was able to fine-tune, and he's become a great athlete. Young man from the Ozarks, as young as he was, you know, and getting all that success at the time. So, you know, my wish is this next time we make it to the Olympics. I know he wants it bad, and I hope he gets it. I think he will.
Always my goal is to PR. I think if you're not in the mindset of progressing, then you become stagnant. You know, you always want to keep doing better, and that's always my goal is to PR, increase my averages, you know, meet averages for the whole year, and just win. You know, that's the most important thing about track and field. Nobody gives a shit if you win the Olympics if you throw 20 meters. It's just that you won, you know what I mean? So the point is to win first and throw far second. So just try to win it all. I mean, I try to win every meet I go into. I'm not one of those guys. I know Adam does it. He can be like, I can go in and throw like shit, and I don't care because I'm looking for the end meet. But I'm one of those guys. I like to win every meet, but no, that's not always the case. But that's always a goal. You know, I'd love to win every meet. I'd love to go undefeated, throw 10 PRs for 25 meters, and win the Olympics by 2 meters. And that's always my goal. I always shoot really high, but keep it in perspective. You know what I mean? I think there's more in stock. I think had things went a little different and some injuries not have occurred, that there wouldn't be a question who the best ever was, in my opinion. But you know, that's life. You know, it moves on. Nobody waits for you, so just gotta take it with it and just keep going. And that's it. Just it's gotta be this year. Like it's Beijing or bust. So.
The Tyson Invitational, held at a university in Fayetteville, Arkansas, is one of the stops in the series of competitions leading up to the national championship.
In a moment, hip 3 is Scott McPherson of Arkansas. Hip 4, Paul Burrell of Georgia, SEC Indoor 5,000-meter champion last year. Jacob Career of Eastern Kentucky will wear hip 5. Hip 6, James Strang of Arkansas. He was 12th.
Christian, Adam, and Reese are all in attendance, as well as Dan Taylor, one of the event's up-and-comers.
Let's meet our competitors this evening. Our first competitor, we've got 4 men, they'll each take 4 throws. Our first man is 6'6", he weighs 340 pounds. He's got an outdoor best of 70 feet 10, an indoor best of 66'10". You may remember him here in 2004 winning an NCAA title. He loves shopping for shoes and is an avid player of World of Warcraft. From the Ohio State University, it's Big Dan Taylor. Our next competitor is 6'6", he weighs in at 320 pounds. He's this year's winner of the Boston Invitational. He was second at the Millwall Games. He's got a seasonal best of 70 feet. He's got a lifetime best of 72 feet. He claims he can bench press 624 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mizzou, it's the giant, Christian Cantwell. Our third man in the rotation tonight is 6 feet tall. He weighs 300 pounds. He is a reigning indoor and outdoor world champion. He's got an indoor personal best of 72 feet 6 inches. Claims he can do a backflip. Fancies himself as an avid juggler. Ladies and gentlemen, from Athens, Georgia, leader of the Bulldog Nation, Reese Hoffa. Yes! And around the field is our smallest man in the field. He's 6 feet tall, 255 pounds. He's a 2-time Olympic silver medalist, 2000, 2004. He's a 2005 World Outdoor Champion. Just 2 weeks ago, he set a lifetime personal best of 72 feet 5 inches to win the Millrose Games. The speed in which he comes across the wing makes it suggest that this man is a sprinter in a shot putter's body. Ladies and gentlemen, he is your world leader, Mr. Tyson Invitational.
Dan gets the first throw of the night. followed by Adam, who comes in with the nation's leading mark. Then Reese. Then Christian. The rules state that the thrower may enter the circle from any direction. He must then start from rest to complete his throw. If he completes the throw without leaving the circle, the shot lands in the designated throwing area, it counts as a good throw. If he steps out, or the shot lands outside of the throwing area, it's considered a foul. Each competitor has had 2 throws tonight. For his 3rd throw, Adam was saving something special.
You look like you connected on that one. Everything just lined right up for you. Hey, you guys want to make some more noise? We're going to go farther on the next one. Let's keep it up. 73-6, folks. 73-6. He's a world leader. He came in a world leader. That's the best throw in the world right now.
Try as they did on their following throws, no one could catch up to Adam.
Feels great, man. I'm ready for something bigger than that, though. And I'm not even in peaking shape yet. That's kind of scary.
At 73 feet 6 inches, Adam now has the 3rd best indoor throw of all time, behind the current and former world indoor record holders. Dan Taylor shared his thoughts with us on what it's like to throw against 3 of the best shot putters in U.S. history.
I think definitely I have the potential to be the future of shot putting in this country. And as long as I don't let things like today's performances or other bad performances let me down or, weigh on me too much, I think if I keep getting better and keep as focused as I have been for the last, up until now, I think definitely I can be the future of shot putting in this country. It's, I feel bad saying that because that's a bold statement. For the most part it is. There's always going to be someone better. There's going to be someone after me who's going to be better, and there's someone going to be after that person who's going to be better. But as long as I can stay healthy and stay focused for the next, I don't know how many years, because Christian's only 2 years older than me, and who knows how long he's going to keep throwing. And at 30, Reese is just coming to his prime over the last 2 years. So it's hard to say. It's going to be, for me, just mentally, it's going to be a daunting task to
to hold on for 5, 6 years. It could even be 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, until all those guys are out of the way. Not saying that I couldn't eventually beat all those guys, but right now, it's literally like they're all in their prime of their throwing careers, which is ridiculous. I mean, Adam 22, 2 meets in a row. Reese won every single meet he was in last year. Christian, a 75-foot foul 2 years ago. He throws 22 every season. To keep, mental focus and to keep wanting to train, sometimes is tough with that. You feel like it's, how am I gonna get to that level? And then there's people below me who want to be at the level I am, and I'm like, oh, come on, So I definitely think I have the tools to be the next best shot putter for the U.S. and the next generation of shot putter. It's just part of it's going to take me realizing it a little more.
One week later, at the USA Indoor Championship meet, everyone is in attendance and the tension is high, as this meet decides who makes the world team that will compete in Valencia, Spain next month. And there are only 2 spots available. Reese is first in the order and starts off with a big throw. Dan is trying to inch his way onto his first world team. Christian also starts off with a big throw. Much is expected of Adam today after his performance in Arkansas. Despite his best efforts, Reese couldn't top Christian's first throw. He is currently in the number 2 position. Dan fell short as well, and will have to wait for his chance to make the World Indoor Team. Adam, who is currently in 3rd, has one more chance to move up in position and make the World Team. But today just isn't his day. Today, Christian is victorious, and he and Reese will compete for the indoor world title in Valencia, Spain in 2 weeks. Adam won't leave empty-handed though. Because of his high marks all season, he won a side competition run by USA Track worth $25,000.
The Drake relay is a big deal, you know? Oh yeah. Give you a little Drake relays. Trivia question. There's been 2 people to get named Drake Relays Athlete of the Meet twice. Only 2 people. You name those 2 people. One is Christian Cantwell. Who's the other one? Famous 800-meter runner and 200-meter runner. That's Michael Johnson. So me and Michael Johnson got something in common. Except he got paid quite a bit more than I did to go to Drake Relays. But nonetheless, only 2 people ever get it twice. That's why my only goal now is to get it one more time. And if I ever break my record, I did 22:09 there 2 years in the rain, 2 years ago in the rain. If I ever break that, I'll get it again. And then I'll be the only person to get it 3 times. For me, it's a process. You know, every year is the same, just, you know, minor changes, just keep working. I mean, I treat it like a job. I mean, I go to work, do the stuff I gotta do. There's no real difference. I mean, every year's, I know that when this year's over, there's gonna be a next year, and when that year's over, there's gonna be a next year. I mean, there's a world championship next year. I mean, you know, nothing changes. You know, it's all the same. It's just how the public perceives it. You know, I mean, for me, next year is just as important as this year. You know, with the world championships and stuff. I mean, the public doesn't see it like that, but I do. You know, it's a job. I just gotta keep plugging away, keep going to work, and hopefully good things will happen.
The world indoor champion, the first All-American, Christian Cantwell.
I threw so bad.
Well, it's not like you've had a lot of time or a lot of good.
Yes, I have. No excuses. Play like a champion. You know that.
That's right.
Rule number 89: no excuses. Play like a champion. No, I do it for the love. I mean, I'm killing my body and everything else, you know, to do this. So it's a wash. I mean, I don't consider there to be much money in this, anyways. If there wasn't any money, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably be doing football, something else. But I do like it. I mean, it's a hobby of mine. It's a passion of mine. I mean, I think anything you do, you should have a passion for it, even if it's environmental studies or construction working. I think you should have a passion for it. And I have a passion for this. And yeah, I'd probably do it. I mean, I would probably do it to a way smaller degree of seriousness, but I'd still do it. I think you're right. I mean, that's all I got to do. Just settle in and let it happen, you know? Like I said, my first one felt pretty good, and that one I totally missed it off the hand. And I think had I got it in my power, like, set it all behind.
And Eric Mitchum with a good quote.
Gandhi. I only got one word, Gandhi. King of beers. Yeah. I feel like this is my year, man. I think I'm gonna throw a world record this year. Or get really fucking close. I should have done it indoors. I can't believe I didn't. It was like I needed one more week, I think. Because like when it came about, it was like all of a sudden I went from like throwing like my best practice was like 71 to like all of a sudden one day, bam, 74, 75, 74, 76, 73, 75, like just killing it. And it was like a short amount of time, like I couldn't figure out like how to adjust my energy. Like I was doing those training throws without even like being super turned on. Like I wasn't even yelling on those. Like I was just lobbing them out there.
And then when I get to meet, it would just change just something just enough to like throw off my timing a little bit. I don't know exactly, I couldn't pinpoint what it was. It was just enough where I couldn't quite snap one off. Just gotta get behind it, man. Three more. I just feel like if I get behind it, it's gonna move, man. God damn it. I think I went too easy on that one.
What do I think's in his future? I think a lot of great throwing. I won't answer that in terms of how far I think he can throw. I told Christian when he was beginning his journey as a thrower, his first couple practices at Missouri, it was very apparent that this guy was different. And it wasn't hard. I mean, the guy he was ready to quit after a month. Well, by February's first year, and he was thinking he was going to go quit track and do football, you know. I said to him then, I said, Christian, I won't tell you how far I think you can throw. I just know every record on the planet is in jeopardy in the shot put. Every record, bar none. How far is that going to be? I have no idea. Nobody will know until we get there. We are on track. There's some very special things ready to happen to this next Olympiad. Through 2008 and this next Olympiad, Christian Cantwell is going to be doing some really fun stuff. And for United States track and field and men's shot put, this is a special time. This is really a special time. So. Cool.
You've been kind of like the dominant guy in the shot put. How much are you just looking forward to kind of checking that off your list, going to the Olympics, maybe the Olympics?
Yeah, you know, but and this is the thing. I do, you know, going to the Olympics is special for a lot of people. But I can tell you this: if I went to the Olympics and got second, I would hate it. You know, there's no point in going unless you're going to try to win it. You know, and I feel like every time I line up against the best in the world, when they're the best and I'm the best, 99% of the time I'm going to come out with it. You know, but. You know, the Olympics are tough. I think I've got that figured out, the championship, you know, stuff. I think I've got that down pat now. Now it's just making that team and going over there and, you know, mining for some gold.
You're winning shot putter.
Hey everybody, well, I guess it's just validation to being one of the elite athletes in the U.S. and being able to be the top guy going in and beating out on all these guys, it's awesome. That's what I trained for, is to be number one. I made no qualms about it. My goal coming in, you know, many years ago was to be number one in the world, and to be at that level, it means that I've arrived. And as I'm going into World Championships and leading everything, hopefully it'll give me the comfort level to go there and relax and just perform the same way I have all year long.
Who represents the New York Athletic Club and Nike. He's been ranked #1 in the world the last 2 years. Last year, he won the U.S. national title and the World Championship title, a best of 73, 7 1/4, Reese Hoffa. Reese Hoffa, the shot putter. And over hurdle number 8, it is Demas and Stoddard. Lucinda Demas. Lucinda Demas and company Ross Williams. Ross Williams on the inside, Stoddard, and in the middle of the track here is Demas, and it is Lucinda Demas. 55-17 for Lucinda Demas. Siobhan Stoddard at 55.
You know, I've been number 1 in the world, 2 years in a row. Coming off that into an Olympic year where everyone now looks at me to being the guy to bring home the gold, and some of the expectations from doing more media things, and it seems like my opinion is valued a lot more in previous years, which is a bit unusual for me. And knowing now that in some ways I can carry a meet just by my presence, which usually wasn't the case, I definitely think that those are some big differences for me that I struggle with and trying to figure out what's the best for me, because there's a lot more opportunities out there for me this year than I've ever had in my entire career, and being able to balance that and still be able to go out there and put out a consistent product of great throws, that's pretty new.
There's a big throw, and that's going to be a leading mark here for Hoffa.
A lot more press, a lot more pressure put on you by, I guess, your country and your federations, USOC and USA Track and Field. I definitely think they put a lot of pressure on you to perform, because they look at what you've done, years before in terms of results in major competitions, and there's always that expectation that when you go into Olympic Games that you should win because you've won in the past, so why not do it now?
Intentional foul for Nelson to bring up Hoffa now.
I think Reese is going to stay, has the body type to stay relatively healthy and injury-free. His training scheme is not very crazy. I think it's reproducible well into his mid-30s. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a lot of experience now. So I really think when I look at his future, he's obviously coming into his own and at the top of his game right now. But I'd like to think that he could stay at this level for another, 4 to 6 years, which could carry him through, London, 2012. I don't see why it can't, because he doesn't have a high-risk training scheme, and he doesn't have a history of injuries. His only really somewhat bad injury he's had or nagging problem has been a lower back injury, and which really hasn't come into play very much because we've avoided doing the things that hurt it in the first place. So, we've learned from adversity.
You look like you're a guitar player practicing your scales. It's you're really good. It's technically proficient. But it's just everything's right, but there's no fire, no imagination. Now it's just kind of like, okay, here, we'll play guitar now for 2 minutes. Just make some weird fucking sounds. And just let's see what comes out. Just get after it. See what magic you make. Maybe it'll be just shit, but maybe it'll be just something great will happen. So because right now everything's very regimented and regulated. It is good, it's proper, but that's not greatness. Greatness is like on the brink of chaos, but on the right side of chaos, not on the bad side. Let's see, get your shot, so this is what I throw for you. I'm just going to turn. I'm going to trust all the patterns you're going to hold, because they've been holding for the last 45 minutes here, and just get after it, just see what it gives me.
So I think the future looks very bright, and if he could have 4 to 6 more years at the level he's had the last couple years, that's just a phenomenal career. I mean, there'll be a lot of titles to be won and awards to be garnered if he can keep up at that level.
Reese Hoffa, a foul on the last throw, and he's going to be our winner at 69, 10 1/4. How about a hand for Reese Hoffa? The shot put, a two-time NCAA champion of the discus at UCLA. It's John Godina. Throwing 6.
When I was in 2000, there were really 4 dominant shot putters, right? There was CJ, Kevin, John, and Andy Bloom. And I was sitting at a table one day with Kevin and Andy waiting for the Raleigh-Durham meet. And they started talking about the Olympic trials, and they said, well, there's basically 4 of us, and named those 4. And I was sitting at the table with them. And then they looked at me and they said, oh, and you're on the bubble. And I looked at them and said, you guys have no fucking idea what you just did. And I went out and spanked the hell out of them that day. The only one that beat me was CJ. I PR'd, I threw 70 feet 10 or 70 feet 6. And I was no longer on the bubble. So the lesson there is that there are a lot of kids that are young and really hungry, and this is going to be the year when they deliver a huge result. So ultimately, I can't worry about all those guys. You know, it's more of a competition against myself, and if those guys rise to the challenge and throw real far, I hope that I'll be able to respond and return in kind. So that's really it. I mean, can't put names on all of them. There are too many of them. How far down do I go?
2005. He also has 3 World Championship silver medals to go in his fabulous collection. Here is the great Adam Nelson. Dave Heidler has taken the lead in the hammer throw. Andrew George. Representing an NCAA champion while in Tennessee, the 2005 World Champion, Tiana Madison. Jumping fourth, representing Nike, a 3-time U.S. champion, 7th World Championship in 2005, Reese Hoffa. Jumping fifth, representing Nike, U.S.
The Olympics versus the World Championships, that's such a great question because I think a lot of people don't realize how difficult the Olympics really are and how easy the World Championships really are, relatively speaking. The Olympics are about worldwide competition. They're about it's a celebration, really, more than anything else. It's a celebration of diversity. It's a celebration of being able to put aside all of our political differences, all of our cultural differences, and come together and unite over one thing. And that's just athletic performance. We love to see these people compete across cultural barriers, political barriers, and see the bonds that form between them. The Olympics versus the World Championships. The Olympics is certainly a bigger stage. The World Championships is probably a bigger event for track and field because it's just the best of track and field. There's nobody that got there because that's where everybody got there based on their own qualifications. They had to hit a certain standard, otherwise they can't be there. So it's a much more intense competition.
You always think of Hayward Field as the mecca of distance running. The fact of the matter is you have just witnessed a 72-7 throw by Nelson. That is the only 70-foot throw. No other stadium in the world has produced as many 70-foot throws as Hayward Field. That was number 41.
Adam's future as a thrower, I think the only reason it would, he's 32, the only reason it would really come to an end, you know, in the next couple of years is because Adam wants he wants to move on with his life. I don't think Adam is too old to keep throwing for another 6 years. I don't, Adam has expressed that, you know, maybe there's a time to move on. But yeah, I don't know if Adam, we'll see if he actually does want to move on. I could see him maybe taking a year off and then coming back and being in the working world and maybe taking training a little bit differently, but probably still getting the same results. So I could see that happening for a while, but Adam's future as a thrower, I think immediately 2008. I'm very excited about what's going to happen with him in 2008 and 2009. And then I think after that, you know, who knows? I think that depends on Adam and which direction he wants to go in, and you know, what part of his life will maybe change a little bit. So he's approaching throwing, I guess, from a little bit different perspective than he usually has, where throwing comes first. But I think he'll probably get the same results for as long as he wants them.
Since 2006, since I started school. Some days are easier than others, but every day I can ask myself, you know, how did you train today? Did you train like an Olympian? Did you train like a world record breaker? Did you train like you're worthy of a gold medal? And every day since then, I've been able to answer that with a yes. Only scratch the surface indoors. Just scratch the surface of what I'm capable of doing this year. I haven't had 2 years of training like this since I started post-collegiately. I'm recovering from school. I'm in great shape. I'm healthy. I got a big throw coming. Today's the first day I felt like that. Very sharp today. I feel sharp today since before school got out.
he is the proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. Starting on the inside, wearing hip number 1, representing Kenya, Nancy Lagat. Wearing hip 2, representing Nigeria, three-time USA 1500 champion, Tamir Clement. Wearing hip
I feel pretty good. I'm confident about tomorrow. Hopefully I can make it a one and done kind of deal. Just go in there, get one throw off, and go home and get some rest for Saturday. Nothing to declare, just hopefully just nothing but good throws.
Reese. Oh, maybe Christian. I don't know. How much time do they have? Is it for speed?
Let's say till they're full. Till they say
They
I
can
can't even
they can
talk
pace
about
it though. They can be over time. Do they have to continuously be feeding, or can they like sit down and wait for a few minutes to come back?
Let's say it's just a regular Labor Day barbecue.
So they've got some time. Buns?
We'll go ahead and throw the buns in there.
Christian. Straight hot dogs, Reese. I've seen Reese eat a whole thing of Oreos in like an hour. A whole, the 4 rows. It's amazing. The guy's a machine. Yeah, if it was just straight up fatty meat, I'd put it on Reese.
I'm gonna give it to Reese, hands down. That man has skills. He'll eat himself through those moments of discomfort, and I do not like to eat a lot of hot dogs. Maybe back when I was younger, I could have taken them, but no, not anymore. I'd have to go with Reese.
I could eat the most hot dogs. I'm probably gonna have to go with Reese. I just don't see myself as being a big hot dog eater. I could probably put away a few. I've actually tried. I think the most available, which is, and this is amazing. I think I put away 7 one time, and almost like croaked because I was so full. That's why it's so amazing to see Joey Chestnut putting away 60 something. But I'd say Reese, and then maybe me, and then John, and then Adam. I think that would have to be the order.
But I still think Christian's got it. Is that the consensus? Is Christian? Or are they saying me?
Everyone said you.
Me? Why? Goodness.